For more on the situation in Afghanistan, we can speak now to Afzal Ashraf, a visiting fellow at the University of Nottingham with a PhD in terrorist ideology. Mr. Ashraf, thank you so much for speaking to us today here on France 24. The Taliban has delayed announcing their government. We're also seeing this ongoing fighting in the Panjshir region. Are the two linked? Is the Taliban waiting for some sort of definitive victory?
I'm not sure that they are, but because you see, when the Taliban were in power last time, they didn't have the Panjshir Valley and they didn't have many of the northern provinces. I think they have Kabul, and they have effectively the whole of the rest of the country under their control. What their priority, I think, right now is to agree a government, which means, first of all, agreeing their own leadership, what position that leadership will have, and who else will form part of the government. I think their strategy for the Panjshir Valley is to take time because the valley is surrounded, and rather than fighting their way in, it would be better for them and for everybody else if they allowed the people in the Panjshir Valley to surrender once they find that, particularly during the winter, they're cut off.
So how do you see that resistance in Panjshir playing out in the coming weeks? Do you think it's going to be something that is ongoing like it was the last time the Taliban was in power?
I doubt it. I think that in this particular instance, the Taliban will exercise what they have done in recent past, and that is what we call strategic patience. They will continue to sort of have some small-scale fighting just to keep the people occupied in the Panjshir Valley, but I would guess that they will just isolate them because they are surrounded, and unless they get some air support, they will not get. They will not be able to fight their way out unless they're very lucky. So that eventually, over a period of time, they will find that negotiations are better. They're already taking negotiations have already taken place, but according to most analysts, the people in the Panjshir Valley, Ahmad Shah Massoud's son and so on, are making unreasonable demands. For example, 30% representation in the new government, which of course is not representative of the Panjshir Valley at all. So I think they will move towards much more reasonable and much more acceptable demands. And eventually, I think, just as with the United States, the Taliban will come to some form of an agreement.